Shiva Prasad Venna and his wife, Chenchu Latha, left India for Pennsylvania, chasing the American dream. They joined a close-knit community of Indian software engineers, finding comfort in shared culture and familiar faces. Life in King of Prussia was peaceful and full of hope. They worked hard, made friends, and celebrated traditions, building a life together. But one dream eluded them: having a child. Their struggle with infertility was a quiet ache, a shadow over their happiness. They prayed and waited, supporting each other through disappointment. Despite the heartache, they never lost faith in their future. They believed their family would one day be complete. Theirs was a story of hope, sacrifice, and resilience. They were on the verge of having it all, but they couldn't know how fragile their happiness truly was. The life they built felt secure until fate intervened. Their American dream was about to be tested in ways they never imagined. Sometimes the greatest challenges come when we least expect them. After years of longing, Chenchu Latha became pregnant in 2011, a miracle for the Vennas. Their joy was overwhelming. Every moment of the pregnancy was cherished. In October, their daughter Saanvi was born, perfect in every way. She was the missing piece, the heart of their family. Their apartment became a true home, filled with Saanvi's laughter and cries. Shiva and Latha captured every milestone, savoring the whirlwind of new parenthood. Friends and family celebrated with them, blessing the baby and sharing in their happiness. Saanvi was a happy, curious child, adored by all. For Shiva and Latha, these were golden days. Their world revolved around their daughter. They had health, careers, community, and now their beautiful child. Life felt complete. The years of waiting faded into memory. Their American dream had finally come true. They believed nothing could take this happiness away. But darkness can sometimes find its way into even the brightest homes. As Saanvi grew, Shiva and Latha needed help balancing work and parenthood. They called Shiva's mother Satyavathi Venna in India. At 61, Satyavathi didn't hesitate. She traveled to America to care for her granddaughter. She spoke little English, but her love needed no translation. Satyavathi's days revolved around Saanvi, feeding, playing, singing lullabies, and rocking her to sleep. The bond between grandmother and granddaughter was instant and deep. Her presence brought tradition and comfort to their modern life. 3 generations lived together, supporting one another. Satyavathi was more than a babysitter. She was family, a guardian. Latha felt relief knowing her daughter was in loving hands. The family felt complete, anchored by love and trust. Their world seemed safe, secure, and full of promise. But sometimes danger hides where you least expect it. The illusion of safety was about to be shattered. Among their friends was Raghunandan Yandamuri, Raghu, a fellow Indian tech professional. He and his wife were part of the same community, living in the same apartment complex. Raghu seemed friendly, expecting a child himself, and was welcomed as one of their own. But beneath the surface, he was drowning in gambling debt. He lied to his wife and friends, borrowing money he couldn't repay. The pressure mounted as his debts grew and his wife's pregnancy advanced. Envy crept in as he saw the Venna's stable life. Desperation twisted his thoughts. Raghu visited the Vennas often, playing with Saanvi and chatting with the family. They trusted him completely, unaware of his turmoil. He hid his struggles behind a mask of friendship. But inside, a dark plan was forming. He saw an opportunity in their trust. The Vennas had no idea the danger lurking so close. Sometimes, the greatest threats come from those we welcome into our homes. Raghu's desperation would soon turn deadly. Raghu's plan was chillingly simple: kidnap Saanvi for ransom. He believed the Vennas could pay $50,000 to save their child. He prepared ransom notes, trying to disguise his identity with odd phrasing and threats. He demanded only Latha deliver the money, warning against police involvement. Raghu thought he had planned for everything. He knew the family's routine. During the day, only Saanvi and her grandmother would be home. He believed it would be easy. But he underestimated a grandmother's love and courage. His plan was reckless, born of desperation and envy. The target was not just money, it was the heart of a family. Raghu was ready to betray the trust of those who considered him a friend. He was about to cross a line from which there was no return. The consequences would be devastating. Sometimes, a single desperate act can destroy everything. On October 22, 2012, Raghu put his plan into action. He knocked on the Venna's door. Satyavathi, trusting him, let him in. Armed with a knife, he demanded valuables, but Satyavathi fought back fiercely to protect Saanvi. The struggle was brutal. Satyavathi was killed defending her granddaughter. Raghu then turned to Saanvi, silencing her cries with a handkerchief and placing her in a suitcase. He scattered ransom notes around the apartment, trying to stage a kidnapping. He left, carrying Saanvi away, leaving behind a scene of tragedy and loss. The plan had already gone horribly wrong. A grandmother's ultimate sacrifice was made in vain. The Venna's world was shattered in a single, unthinkable day. Trust had been betrayed in the most horrific way. The consequences of Raghu's desperation were now irreversible. The darkness had claimed 2 innocent lives. Shiva returned home to a nightmare, his mother dead, his daughter missing. The community rallied, organizing searches, vigils, and prayers for Saanvi's safe return. Flyers with Saanvi's face appeared everywhere. Hope and fear gripped everyone. Raghu was at the center of it all, pretending to help, hiding his guilt. He comforted the Vennas, spoke to the media, and played the concerned friend. All the while, he knew Saanvi was already gone. She had suffocated in the suitcase, her body hidden in the building's basement. The police focused on the ransom notes, noting the use of the parents' first names and regional nicknames. Suspicion grew that the kidnapper was someone close. The community searched for a living child, unaware the killer was among them. Raghu's deception was complete, his cruelty unimaginable. The Venna's trust had been weaponized against them. Every hour brought more agony for the family. The truth was closing in, but hope was fading. Sometimes, evil hides in plain sight. The search for Saanvi would end in heartbreak. Police zeroed in on Raghu. His story didn't add up, and the ransom notes pointed to him. Under pressure, he confessed the kidnapping, the murder, the desperate motive. He led police to Saanvi's body in the basement sauna. The last hope was extinguished. The trial was agonizing for the Vennas and their community. Raghu tried to recant, blaming others, but the evidence was overwhelming. In 2014, he was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to death. Justice was served, but peace was impossible for Shiva and Latha. They lost their only child and mother in a single act of betrayal. Their American dream was destroyed. They returned to India, hearts broken. The tragedy sent shockwaves through the immigrant community. It was a story of trust betrayed and the darkness of desperation. Satyavathi's love and sacrifice stood as a heartbreaking testament. Sometimes, the greatest danger comes from those we trust most. The Venna's story is a reminder. Even in the safest circles, darkness can find a way in.